if I ask you one word that has enabled you guys to stay together, what would be that one word? I didn't even have to think about it. Commitment. I think somebody said God. Christians get divorced just as much, if not more, than unsaved people. So God is not the main factor. He is one factor. But even if you got God, if you ain't gonna stay with him, they ain't gonna help you. See, a lot of Christians need, okay, let's wake up today. You can be saved and still without a man or woman. It takes commitment. When all said and done, watch this. The people who stayed married and raised their children, whatever the case may be, it was not because that husband was better or that wife was better. They simply made a commitment in spite of your regular no down, no good stuff, or whatever the case may be. We're going to stay together. We're going to work this out. Come hell or high water, we're going to stick it out. If you got that, come this side. I'll listen to Frank Jensen, something like that. I don't know if I pronounce his name. What's his name? Jensen, Franklin Jensen. Okay, Free Chapel in Georgia. Okay. Now, he said that he and his wife went through a very traumatic experience. And, you know, with him passionate, ripping and running and stuff, and they were, you know, no longer felt like they were in love with each other. He was wrapped up in the ministry, she really didn't want to be there, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they were thinking about going their separate ways. She called her mother and stuff, and the mother came over, the father and all that, talked to them. You know what they said? We're going to stay here until y'all work this out. We're going to fast, we're going to pray, and we're not going to leave the house until y'all work this out. And then they told the daughter, listen, we want you to know, if it doesn't work out, you can't come back home. You're going to stay with your husband. You stood up there all the time for a banner for work. She said, this is the worst. You stay your behind right here in this marriage and work it out. Oh, y'all ain't got to trap. Let me come back to this side. And listen, what would happen if more people say, you know what? You can't come back here. I tell my kids, you marry out, you don't marry in. Amen. Don't you think you're going to bring your wife, your husband up in my house? The devil is a liar. You know how long it took me to get you out of the house? And you think you're going to move back up in here with Ray and June Bug? I'll change my lock. I'll move to another state. Okay, all right. Okay, run out of time. Okay, number 3, patience or long suffering. An evil disposition, disposition and a spirit of patience under prolonged provocation. It is the ability to endure discomfort without fighting back. Let me read that again. An evil disposition and a spirit of patience under prolonged provocation. They mess with me in the morning. They mess with me in the noonday. They mess with me in the evening. Mess with me in the midnight hour. Mess with me on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It is the ability to endure discomfort without fighting back. How many of you know that we got a long way to go? Amen. Okay, now here's another one. Forbearing one another in love. That's the next one. Forbearing one another in love. That is making allowance for the faults and failures of others. Different personalities, abilities, and temperaments. It is not a question of maintaining a facade of courtesy while inwardly seething with resentment. It is positive love to those who irritate you, disturb you, and even embarrass you. Somebody says tight, but it's right. You know you got to know Jesus to do this. Because, listen what it says here. Making alliances for the faults and failures of others. Now watch this. We wouldn't be so hard on other people if we would realize that we got some issues too. Watch this. See, the problem is that we look out the window and we see the problem with everybody else, but what you need to do is put a thin coating over the window and turn it into a mirror. And then you see that I got some flaws, and I got some issues, and I got some problems, and I got some baggage, and they got to put up with my stuff just like I got to put up with their stuff. Are you with me? See, the problem is when you think you don't have no problem, project on other people that they got all the problems and issues. That's why I said you got to know Jesus to do this. Now, can I just be real for a minute? Okay, how many of you like me? You don't have a lot of patience. You really don't have a lot of patience with what I would call stupid people. Not that people are stupid, but they do stupid things. You know, I'm not calling them stupid, I'm just saying you don't call them stupid. I'm just saying, okay. How many of you got the gift of fighting? You didn't have to go to school. You didn't have to take a class. You came out scrapping. What did you say? Listen, even when you came out and the doctor spanked you on the butt, you were ready to slap the doctor. Who that hit me? Okay, listen. Now watch this. So, now listen to this. You have to know yourself. You have to know what will set you off. And watch this. And you have to monitor yourself. How many of you, if you don't monitor yourself, you like to end up in prison any day now? How many of you like that? You know, and you be praying for the person provoking you, and you be saying like, you don't know, girl, or you don't know what. You gotta ask somebody. Are y'all with me? Do y'all understand? Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, it's just like, not too long ago, I went to First. Y'all know that's my favorite cafeteria. And I was in the line trying to get my food. Ain't bothering nobody. Ain't trying to hurt nobody, harm nobody. But anyway, I was in line, and the young lady who was fixing my salad, she wasn't paying attention. And I told her, light on the 1,000 hour. And she put Italian dressing on my salad. And I kind of said that Italian dressing breaks my mouth out, the vinegar and all that. I need another salad with Italian dressing. I mean, 1,000 hour. Okay. So she did that, and the guy at the next station was saying, "What's taking so long?" She said he changed his mind. But that, you know, that didn't do nothing. And then I told him I want the beef patty with mushroom. You know what he said? You sure you want that, or you gonna change your mind again?